Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Governor Howard Dean.
We're going to dispose of the usual list of states that we start these things with. First, it's great to be back. Thank you. As you know, Netroots is on time and on budget, and this is not an exception, so this is going to be quick. It would be really tempting, and of course I always want to give a big barn burner when I come up and talk to you guys, because who else to give a barn burner to but you? So, but that would be wrong. No, it wouldn't be wrong. It would be great. So, but I do have a message that is I want you to think about, because it's not an election year except for Virginia and New Jersey and some important local offices. And this is the 10th anniversary, as you are aware, of my campaign speech, which kicked off the campaign. And so for the last few months, I've really been thinking a lot about the last 10 years and what it's meant. And I want to say this right. A lot of the times we come to these conferences and we're maybe upset with the government, and maybe upset even with our own president. Certainly when President Bush was in office, we were very upset with what he was doing. But we tend to get consumed, I think this is true of America in general, with the short term instead of the long term. So I want to talk about what it was like 10 years ago and what it's like today. 10 years ago we had, I think, 3 states with marriage equality. Today we have 12, and we're about to have 13, which is this one. 10 years ago, we were rotating troops in and out of Iraq and burning out the military. Today we're out of Iraq and we're on our way out of Afghanistan. 10 years ago, we had the most far-right government in the history of the United States in office. Today, we have a new generation of President Barack Obama, elected by you. So, now, is the president perfect? No. But it sure is a whole lot better than having him in there than having Mitt Romney in there. So, progress is being made. And I thought that, and I think this is true, that after the last election, when President Obama was reelected, that was probably the most important election in recent years, like the last 50 or 60 years. Why? Because we cemented the fundamental generational change that this organization has pushed more than anybody else. When I ran in 2004, the world changed not because of me, the world changed because of the 23-year-olds that went to work in my campaign and invented an entirely different way of communicating with the American people. And it was in part because I am a person who believes that you do not rebuild a country by telling people what to do. You empower individuals to make decisions in their own lives. And that is what that campaign was about. And that is still what the campaign Democracy for America is like today. And that is what we are in the business of doing. That is what this new generation is doing. And there are people who are 23 years old today in Rwanda and Uganda with better foreign aid models than USAID. There are kids together today in the inner city who don't wait for government to give them permission to do anything. They go online, find 5,000 people, and set up an educational institution that can repair the damages that have been done for so many years. This country is changing in spite of itself. Congress has almost become an irrelevant organization, and that's fine with me, because there are a lot of 25-year-olds out there who don't need Congress anymore. Our generation wanted to change the system. This generation doesn't need to change the system. They go online and find 25,000 people and make the changes they want without bothering with the system. And I think that is a big step forward. Think, for those of you who are my age, in the 60s, if Bank of America had added $5 a month to your credit card bill, we would have moaned and groaned, and maybe some people would have hired a lobbyist and nothing would have happened. Molly Catchpole went to change.org, got up a big petition. 48 days later, Bank of America rescinded. 2 days later, for some unforeseeable reason, Verizon decided to charge $2 to pay your bill online. Molly Catchpole went to work again, and they lasted for 48 hours. And then the Senate Judiciary Committee of the United States passed one of 4 or 5 bipartisan bills in the entire 2-year period of the last biennium. It was called SOPA PIPA. And within 3 days, you all had sent 1 million emails because that bill favored content providers and threatened the independence of the internet. And Harry Reid withdrew the one bipartisan bill they'd been able to get and said there would not be a vote on it, and has never been heard from since. That is the... So, as we fight in the trenches every day to change this country, one life at a time, it does get depressing. And there are people who say outrageous things, fortunately mostly on the other side of the aisle, every day, who don't respect women, who don't respect hardworking immigrants, who don't respect gay and lesbian Americans, who don't respect a large proportion, at least 47% of the public, and I think it's 75. We don't have to deal with those folks. I heard a great program on Current TV yesterday about people who deny climate change, and I'm in favor of what their solution was. We don't have to talk to them anymore about stuff that's not true and that's propaganda and that's a lie. We're just going to run them over. And that is exactly what we're going to do. Thank you very much.